Welcome to this course on Learning Assessment. My name is Brian McNicken. The purpose of this course is to provide an effective orientation to the three processes of learning assessment. The scope of this course is limited to topics presented in the agenda and related performance objectives. Any questions you may have that lie outside the scope of this course will be addressed through subsequent training sessions. Topics in this course are presented initially as concepts. Concepts are reinforced through practical demonstrations and hands-on activities. Each lesson concludes with a review activity to ensure performance objectives have been met. Our agenda. Lesson 1. Assessment for Learning. Lesson 2. Assessment of Learning. Lesson 3. Assessment as Learning. We will summarize all three lessons at the end of the course. Assessment for Learning. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define the term assessment for learning, describe three strategies of assessment for learning, and list 4 principles of assessment for learning. Assessment for learning is the use of a task or activity to determine student progress during a unit or block of instruction. This is commonly referred to as formative assessment or evaluation. Advantages include allowing for ongoing assessment and providing an opportunity to modify training strategies to accommodate different learning styles. This means students are acutely aware of their progress because they are provided with continual feedback. This practical demonstration encompasses a short video emphasizing our discussion on assessment for learning so far. Learning strategies. 3 strategies for assessment for learning include sharing an understanding of expected learning outcomes. By sharing an understanding of expected learning outcomes, students are put on the same page as the instructor. This reduces the potential for confusion and uncertainties. Reviewing work samples of varying levels of quality. By looking at what is considered acceptable levels of work, students gain a better understanding of what they should be striving towards in the course. Establishing ongoing communication between students and teachers about progress towards learning outcomes. Communication between the students and instructors must be clear throughout the course. This ensures that progress stays on track. Students must feel comfortable in approaching instructors about any uncertainties they may have. According to the United Kingdom Assessment Reform Group, there are 4 principles of assessment for learning that include the active involvement of students in their own learning, which means students have a responsibility to get involved and actively participate in the learning process. By providing input and personal knowledge, they will intrinsically improve their understanding of the topics. Number 2 is adjusting teaching to take account of assessment results. Instructors need to make changes when applicable as a result of assessments. This demonstrates flexibility on their part, but more importantly assures the students that the instructor has their best interest at heart. A third principle is recognizing the influence assessment has on student motivation. Formative evaluations that are provided periodically throughout the course allow students to submit feedback on how they feel the class is progressing. Issues addressed on a formative evaluation may include level of desire to attend class, analysis of course content, perception of instructional effectiveness, and enjoyment and enthusiasm within the classroom. Additionally, informal observation by the instructor provides for analysis of participation levels and receptiveness among certain students. The instructor can then target less enthusiastic students for motivational strategies. The fourth principle is the need for students to be able to assess themselves and understand how to improve. Self-assessment is an essential element in the assessment for learning. Asking others in the class to comment on the work of their peers is an effective way to gauge progress, particularly when achieved anonymously. At the end of this lesson, you are now able to define the term assessment for learning, describe 3 strategies of assessment for learning, and list 4 principles of assessment for learning.